Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner and today we're looking at a set of fully trimmed front seat covers for the Austin Healey BJ8. Now the BJ8 is traditionally left with Vinyl Ambla on the majority of them, with some cars leaving with a leather face spec, which they referred to as leather, and it's also worth noting that other suppliers in the aftermarket also refer to as leather, but it was leather face, which is where the facings that touch your body are leather, then the backs and surrounds are vinyl. So that was also a factory option, but nowhere near as commonly seen as vinyl, or Ambla as they refer to it. We can also offer a third option, which is full leather, where there is no vinyl, so even the backs of the seats around here are leather as well. So let's bear that in mind. Now, we can also offer every element of this seat. Most commonly, we supply seat covers ready to be fitted to your original seat frames, and obviously we can supply the seat foams and the seat tacking strips. So that's our day in, day out. Now, for those of you that perhaps your frames and your base pans and locating units aren't any good, we can also supply those. So i.e. the backrest frames here, the cushion pans here, base pans, and then the locating pans on the bottom here. We can supply all of those. And of course, if you really want, like this customer has done here, these are going over to America, we can supply everything brand new, fully trimmed, ready to go in your car. So just bear that in mind. See our website for more details on that, and if you've got any questions, just let me know. Now to dive into these specific seats, like I say, everything's brand new. These have been done in Vinyl Ambla, so we've got the correct graining on there. These have been done in Austin Healey blue. We have two shades of, in inverted commas, dark blue. We have our dark blue, which is extremely dark. Then we have Austin Healey blue, which is still dark, but a bit more blue, depending on who you ask. They're both original for Austin Healey. I'd say that's more down to the inconsistencies on the production line than anything else. So unlike other companies out there that just say there's one type of blue and that's it, we acknowledge the fact that there was probably a few different types and offer different options as a result. So see our material library and colours library for more information, and of course we can send physical samples. That's what we always like to do. As they've been done in Vinyl Ambla, originally from the factory, they included this square embossed pattern on the pleats. We're one of the only companies in the world to have the tooling for that. And also Vinyl Ambla seats had this chrome piping around the outside. The inside piping always remained same colour as the main trim, but the outside piping on the cushions and the backrests with this chrome silver and black piping. There we are. Let's try and get that in focus there. Now it's worth noting that a lot of the original seats, especially ones that went over to sunny America and sunny California, this piping went yellow, and in fact in this book here it is referenced. The piping on this car has yellowed with age. So just bear that in mind. We do get quite a few inquiries, normally from Americans, asking, do you have the original yellow piping? And obviously I have to inform them we have the original piping, but it's not yellow because that's not how it left the factory. So just bear that in mind. Now, as you can see here, we've fully trimmed these up. They're going over to America and they look the part. This is how your seat should look. More than happy to do the job for you from start to finish, but of course, a lot of people out there have their original seat frames in decent enough condition that they perhaps don't need brand new seat frames, and it can be rather costly to ship seat frames. Bit of a loss leader on that one. So for those of you that you just want the seat covers and perhaps some of the seat hardwares like seat foams and things, just bear in mind that this is the result that you should be looking for. BJ8 seats, as per a lot of the earlier Healey seats, are not easy seats to trim. It's the backrest especially, which is very, very tight fitting, notoriously tight fitting, I would say. And you've got these pinch points here and here, which make it really hard to make sure you get a nice curve around this top edge here. A lot of people fall short, even professional trimmers. Of course, professional trimmers like to turn around and perhaps blame a manufacturer for not making the seats correctly. But here I stand showing you how they should look with our seat covers, which are cut on our in-house CNC machine. I won't go on too much about that. Read our blog post about that, about the consistency in which we pattern make and cut and sew our kits. It's really hard for us to make a mistake these days, and our patterns are extremely standardized, more so than you would ever imagine. So with that in mind, if we're doing it like this, this is the result that your trimmer or yourself should do. We're more than happy to help either you or a professional trimmer with the best way of attacking these seats. Like I say, they're not easy to do, and so not for the faint of heart, but if your trimmer's suggesting that he needs to make alterations, tell him to stop, tell him to contact us, and we'll guide them through it. We've had some absolute horror stories, unfortunately, with trimmers that aren't per se particularly experienced with this era of seat and car, and thus have made some radical changes that produce some interesting results, should we say. I'm actually in the process of doing a blog handbook post to kind of show the errors that can be made. But as with all my other videos, I like to give you a bit of a benchmark of what they should be looking to achieve. And so this is it. By all means, feel free to improve on our trimming, but I'd say this is a pretty good job and one that you should be aiming for as a bare minimum. It's worth noting as well, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, the molded seat foams here are fairly standardized in the market. They're not 100% correct, but they do 80% of the job well, and you have to do the last 20 to get it to fit correctly. The idea being that you don't have any bagginess around here, as you can see, very nicely done around there. So that's what you should be aiming for, and again, I can give help and advice on that. But yeah, preparation is everything with these seats, making sure everything is in hand before you start the job and you roughly know what you're doing. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Yeah, as you can see, very nice result. Like I say, we can supply every element of it, either fully trimmed or individual elements, however you want to play it. But yeah, absolutely superb. Really like these seats. They look absolutely brilliant, especially with that piping and the embossing on the pleats. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with other classic car enthusiasts. Make any comments that you wish to make down below, and hopefully we look forward to hearing from you in due course. Yeah, be sure to tune into our next video. Thanks.